Every idea starts small. A melody, a rhythm, a sound in your head, and that's exactly what Volt USB recording studios are built for. A complete creative ecosystem with the sound, tools, and workflow to bring your music to life. With every Volt, you're getting a universal audio interface with the heart and soul of a 610 preamp. And with the 76 models, you can record with the punch and presence of an 1176 compressor. Plus, with LUNA and UAD producer suite included with every Volt, you get a DAW with the incredible sound of an analog studio with AI-powered tools that make recording easier, along with a bundle of 12 premium UAD plugins designed to take your ideas from just an idea to a finished track. In this video, we're going to explore how to use all of these tools to get album-ready vocals, guitars, bass, and more. Let's talk about getting great guitar sounds with the Volt 276, LUNA, and the included UAD plugins. First, let's create a new track. And let's be sure to give it a relevant name. When creating new tracks, LUNA defaults to input 1 for new tracks. Next, I'll engage Vintage Mode on the Volt. When engaged, Vintage Mode adds a preamp circuit inspired by Universal Audio's 610 preamplifier, adding just enough harmonic sweetness to make even simple takes feel more expressive. As I get ready to move forward and record my guitar part, sometimes it's not always ideal to sit right in front of the computer while recording. That's where the power of Volt and LUNA really comes together. LUNA has built-in voice control, so you can keep your session running smooth, hands-free, and simply say, "Hey LUNA, start recording." As I continue building out this track, I'll repeat this process by creating a second acoustic guitar track. Except this time, I'll double the performance in a new voicing with a different acoustic guitar and lean into voice control once again. "Hey LUNA, start recording." Now let's add oxide tape in LUNA to subtly tie the guitars together, adding that signature Universal Audio warmth and glue. While I'm there, I'm also going to finish off the chain with some dynamics processing from the 1176 FET compressor, a little EQ from the Pultec Passive EQ, and Pure Plate for a sense of space. Let's hear it in action. It's that unmistakable Universal Audio sound, alive, warm, and musical. Next, let's look at recording electric guitars directly into LUNA using the Volt's built-in DI. First, let's engage instrument mode on our Volt and plug in our guitar. To get the lowest possible latency while I'm recording, I'm going to set my buffer in LUNA to the lowest setting quickly from within my session. Let's load a guitar amp plugin. Today, I'm using the Showtime 64 to dial in that big, classic rock tone. One of my favorite ways to use the Volt's DI is to drive your favorite amp plugins a little hotter than you normally would using the Vintage mode and the 76 mode together. So here's the Showtime 64 without the 76 compressor or the Vintage mode. So it's pretty clean. So let's engage Vintage mode and the 76 compressor. I'm going to set my compressor to the guitar setting. So that's great. It's giving me a little bit more life and a little bit more character. I'm going to drive the gain on this channel just a little bit more. That certainly sounds more like it. Let's lay something down. instrument detection in Luna, I can simply create the track, record my part, and allow Luna to handle the track color and warp modes, and even track naming if I'd like. This helps me keep my session organized and easy to manage. Using the Volt as a front end into the Showtime 64 just feels natural, responsive, dynamic, and really intuitive as a guitar player. Let's talk vocals. With the Volt, Luna, and UAD Producer Suite, you've got a complete vocal production toolkit. Everything you need from start to finish. Track with the tone of a legendary tube preamp with vintage mode and the punchy FET compression of the 76. Or keep it clean for a post-production prioritized workflow. Then refine it inside of Luna with tuning tools like Melodyne and spatial effects like Pure Plate Reverb and Galaxy Tape Echo. And when you integrate voice control into your workflow, laying down take after take becomes effortless, all without ever leaving the mic. For my vocal, I'm going to commit to the sweetness of vintage mode and save compression for later during mixing. So I'll leave vintage mode engaged and disengage the 76 compressor. Next, I'm going to set my level so that the peaks gently land between the green and the yellow LEDs. Now let's create our chain in Luna. First, I'll create a new track and give it a short name like Lead Vocals. Next, I'm going to load the rest of my monitoring chain, so I'll call up the 1176 FET compressor and the LA2A compressor. For my spatial effects, I'm going to call in the Galaxy Tape Echo, and for effects like reverb and delay, it's best to keep them separate from your source channels. So instead of placing this plugin on my new track, I'm going to create a new bus. I'll assign the bus the same color coordination as my vocal, and load the Galaxy Tape Echo there on the new bus. Next, I'll send the vocal track signal to the new bus. Now that we're ready to record, I'm going to lean on voice control and focus on giving this performance everything I got. Hey Luna, start recording. After finishing recording, I'm ready to call on Melodyne for transparent pitch correction. To get started with Melodyne Essential, I'll navigate to the track I want to work with and choose Warps. In the submenu, I'll navigate to ARA and choose Melodyne. ARA plugins like Melodyne have instant access to your source material, so I can begin editing immediately. Highlight entire phrases and use the built-in macro for quick tuning, or tune specific words for the most transparent tuning. I keep driving till it fades away. Fade. I keep driving till it fades away. The Volt and Luna make it easy to capture vocals that already sound like a record. One of my favorite things about the Volt lineup is how effortlessly it injects energy into DIs, whether it's electric guitars or bass. Using both vintage and 76 modes, I'll lay down bass on a new track, then shape the tone and push the bass even further with the Century Tube channel strip and the Pultec Passive EQ collection. Finally, let's bring some creative depth to the rest of this arrangement using Polymax. Polymax is a vintage-inspired synth that gives producers, sound designers, and musicians big analog tones from the golden age of polysynthesis. Today, I'm going to run through a few of the included Polymax presets to find a sound that suits my idea. Okay, let's run through a couple of the presets and see if we find one we like. That sounds really nice. Let's keep going. Okay, so I've landed on this preset. I think it sounds really good, and I think it's gonna fit in nicely with what we already have. But I think that I'd like to make this just slightly wider, so I'm gonna engage the mod effects at the bottom of Polymax. Okay, so I'm really happy with where this is at. I'm gonna record a part. Okay, so the part was great, but it wasn't a perfect performance. So to fix that, I'm going to use the quantize feature for this MIDI, and I'll press E to expand, open up the quantize menu, and I'm just going to quantize this to 1/8 notes. All right, let's listen to Polymax in the context of the full mix and see just how far creating with the Volt has taken this track. The Volt USB recording studio is more than just an interface. It's an entire creative ecosystem built around intuitive workflows and the sound of a pro studio. From the legendary tones of vintage mode, 76 compression, and UAD plugins, to AI-powered tools inside Luna, every part works together to keep you focused on creating. Whether it's a quick demo or a full-blown production, the Volt makes it easy to stay inspired and finish tracks that sound ready for release. To learn more, head to uaudio.com, subscribe for all things UA. Thanks for watching, cheers.